Grandma!
The CEO has changed. If anyone can form a partnership.
I could.
Well, Jason doesn't stand a chance.
What?
He doesn't want to see you.
She already has a friend on the board at Williams Media.
I can save your skin.
There's a Jones family representative.
I'm here to meet with the new CEO.
Miss Jones, right this way.
I got the deal. How did you know? What's going on?
What are you doing? You're trying to show me up. As a matter of fact, get 2 bottles.
It's a lot of people here.
We're celebrating.
Jason's lavish dinner party ends in humiliating death. Powerful businessman Mitchell Cook reveals Kevin's life-changing kindness, exposing a web of influential connections. As Kevin reunites with Adriana Wright and Gilbert, his surprising financial stability raises more questions than answers. Lily demands truth, but Kevin remains tight-lipped. What secrets will Kevin's past reveal next?
Kevin was so excited, he held the box carefully in his hands. His eyes were glued to the beautiful antique signet ring in the box. It had an ancient aura, and he couldn't take his eyes off of it. Cook and the others looked at each other, their eyes filled with joy. As long as Kevin liked this gift, then all their effort had been worth it. It's all thanks to Gilbert and Emo. They know what you like, especially your interest in antiques from the Middle Ages. They thought that this was appropriate because of all that you mean to us. Kevin looked at the ring for a long time before he carefully closed the box. I'm glad to have found you again, my friends. Thank you so much. Let's have a toast. They stayed up and chatted well into the night. Because it was so late and they were in no shape to drive home, Gilbert arranged for them to sleep in the Chartreuse Mills VIP suite. This just happened to be the first time Kevin had spent a night away from home since he married Lily. And when he woke up the next morning, Kevin didn't head home. Instead, he went straight to his office at Williams Media. After resting on the sofa in his office for a while, Kevin began wondering if he should send a message to Lily. Just then, his phone rang. Kevin saw that it was his mother-in-law, Dorothy. Hello, Mom. Kevin, I heard from Lily that you didn't come back all night. Where did you go? He was pretty sure she was being so nice to him because of everything that had happened at the Jones family celebration the day before. I'm okay, thanks. I went to chat with my old friend for a while. Later on, it got to be too late, so I slept at his place. I understand. You haven't seen each other in a long time, so you must have had a lot to talk about. By the way, didn't I ask you to bring your parents here for a physical? It just so happens that I have nothing to do for the next couple of days. How about tomorrow? When he heard her bring the subject up again, Kevin frowned. He really didn't want his parents involved in all of this. Dorothy suspected that Kevin and Lily's trouble having a baby, even by in vitro fertilization, was inherited, so she wanted to get his parents tested. Talk about awkward. How about this? After I bring my parents here tomorrow, I'll pick up you and Lily to go and get another checkup to see what the problem is. But really, Lily and I don't have any problem. I don't see the need for another physical, and I definitely don't want to drag my parents into this. Dorothy was unhappy to hear this and was about to object, but Kevin didn't give her a chance. Then it's decided. Let's go and get the physical together, all of us. But I have to hang up now, Mom. I still have something to do. Talk to you later. After Kevin hung up, he put down his phone and was about to rest for a while when someone knocked on his office door. Miss Wilson walked in. Sir, Jason from the Jones family is here. He wants to sign the packaging contract for Brittany's debut with us. What do you think we should do? He's here pretty early. Don't worry about him right now. Please contact the Jones family directly. Let them know that, since they've ignored my previous instructions, our agreement with them will be voided if they send him here again. If they want to continue to work with us, then they must ensure that all corporate matters will be handled by Lily and Lily alone. Otherwise, we have nothing to talk about. Miss Wilson nodded. So Jason will have to wait for the Jones family to inform him to leave? Yes. Jason sat for a long time in the first-floor waiting room. Just as he was getting impatient and was about to go to the front desk for an update, he received a call from Grandma Jones asking him to head home. When he hung up the phone, Jason had a puzzled look on his face. His grandmother had full confidence in him when he left this morning. Why did he feel that there was something wrong with his grandmother's tone just now? He looked in the direction of the elevator again. After waiting for another 5 minutes, it was obvious that nobody was coming to show him into the CEO's office. The only thing left for Jason to do was leave. In the old Jones family mansion, the key players of the family were sitting in the living room trying to figure out how to handle all of this. Why are they doing this to us? Why do they prefer Lily to Jason? After all, her own company was about to close its doors until she got bailed out. I think the new CEO of Williams Media is a fool, and sooner or later, Williams Media will be history. When Jason returned, he heard from Grandma Jones that Williams Media was threatening to cancel their partnership with them. He immediately became furious. He couldn't understand why they seemed to have a grudge against him. It was fine if they didn't agree to his proposal, but why were they demanding to see Lily instead of him? Grandma Jones looked at Jason, who was flying into a rage, and felt empathy for her grandson's suffering. JJ, please calm down. Your aunts and uncles are all here. What do you all think about this? Auntie, why did the CEO of Williams Media choose Lily over Jason? What kind of relationship do they have? The woman sitting beside him quickly continued. Yes, why don't we ask Lily to explain this? If they really do know each other, wouldn't that make it easier for us to work with Williams Media? As I recall, Lily said that she didn't get to see their CEO when she went to Williams Media. She must have been lying to us. I don't believe it. There must be something tawdry going on between them. Many of them started to whisper to each other when they heard him say this. Yeah, maybe Lily seduced him to smooth out the deal. That useless husband of hers doesn't even have a job. Lily is such a strong-willed person, she has to do something to provide for her future. Listening to everyone's reaction, Jason felt much better and began to smirk. Grandma Jones was upset, but Lily was her granddaughter after all. She saw that everyone was attacking her more and more harshly and coughed twice. The room immediately fell silent. We need to make a long-term plan. After all, if they want to cancel our agreement, we won't have a chance in court. If that happens, we'll be the ones to suffer. Grandma Jones was absolutely right. Williams Media was far more powerful than they were. The Jones family had to give in. However, they decided that if Williams Media really wanted Jason out of the picture, it would be better to find someone other than Lily to be in charge of the negotiations. She had to be replaced because they just weren't sure of her relationship with the CEO. So Jason's cousin, Matilda Jones, was chosen to replace Jason. They all wanted her to take Lily's place and go to Williams Media the next day. While this was going on, Kevin spent half a day at his office and then rode home on the new electric scooter that Miss Wilson had bought for him. There was no one at home, and Kevin felt that it was too quiet. He tossed a snack in the microwave and relaxed a little. Then he took a nap until Lily came back that evening. Lily walked in, took one look at Kevin's messy hair and wrinkled clothes, and got a little ticked off. When did you get back? You didn't spend the whole day sleeping, did you? Of course not, Kevin replied. I came back in the afternoon. By the way, did you get a call from Grandma today? No. Why would she call me? Kevin was a little annoyed at this. It seemed that Grandma Jones still wasn't taking his words to heart. Still, he looked very calm on the surface. It's nothing. I was just asking. Lily rolled her eyes. When she thought about her family's deal with Williams Media being handed over to Jason, she got really teed off. Where did you go last night? She asked Kevin. Thinking about how Kevin hadn't come home last night, Lily felt even more uneasy. She had so many things she wanted to ask him yesterday, but he never came home from the banquet. Kevin chuckled. I was just chatting with an old friend. It was too late and I'd had a little to drink, so I just slept there. Old friend? Was it Mr. Cook from the Whistler Hotel? That's right. Kevin didn't want to hide anything from her, so he decided to tell her the truth. Lily was a little disappointed to hear his answer. I don't know how you're such good friends with Mr. Cook, but if you say you were chatting with him last night, then I guess I'll have to believe you. But Lily really wanted to know more. Lily was still wondering how Kevin happened to know Mr. Cook so well. It just didn't make sense to her. What kind of person is Mr. Cook anyway? Why would such an important man have the time to chat with you for so long? Kevin shrugged in reply. He really couldn't tell her. Not yet. Go and make me some spaghetti, would you? I haven't had dinner yet. Sure, Lily. Then he turned around and headed into the kitchen. He had just put the pasta in the boiling water when Dorothy got home. She saw Kevin cooking in the kitchen and she remembered what Kevin had said to her on the phone earlier in the day. Her expression turned very serious. "Damn it!" Dorothy groaned. Seeing that Kevin hadn't responded to her, Dorothy kicked off her dress shoes and stomped across the room to sit down next to Lily. Lily gave her a puzzled look. "What's wrong? You look like you're mad at someone." Dorothy replied, "Who else could it be? Someone here doesn't know how to show gratitude." Dorothy motioned with her eyes towards the kitchen and Lily immediately understood. Kevin had probably done something else to piss her off. Lily leaned in toward her mother and whispered, "What's the matter? You can tell me, Mom. I'll have a talk with him if it helps." Dorothy noticed that Lily was whispering so Kevin wouldn't hear. Until recently, she didn't seem to care what her husband thought. But Dorothy also realized that it was thanks to Kevin that Lily's company's financial crisis had been resolved so quickly. Sighing, Dorothy patted her daughter on the hand. "It's because the in vitro didn't work. I'm guessing that his family has some kind of genetic issue. I mentioned this to him and I asked him to bring his parents in for a checkup." Dorothy shot an irritated look towards the kitchen as she spoke. "Kevin told me that he wanted to do a checkup along with everyone else. What did he mean by that? Does he think the problem is with me?" When Lily heard her mother bring up the test tube baby topic again, she got impatient. Mom, can you not rush things? I have so much going on right now. How could I possibly think about having a baby in the middle of this train wreck?" Dorothy's eyes widened. "You're still not in a hurry? You've been married for over 2 years. The in vitro's already failed 3 or 4 times and you're not in a hurry? The last time your dad called, he asked me about it too. If you're not in a hurry, then you can tell your dad the next time he calls. I don't want to have to talk to him about it again. Not until you have some good news." "Let's not talk about this right now." As soon as Lily finished talking, Kevin walked out of the kitchen with a big platter of spaghetti and meatballs. "You don't need to bring your parents here tomorrow. We can talk about the checkup later." Hearing her daughter say this, Dorothy grunted and stood up to go to her room. Kevin smiled at her. "Okay, whatever you say, Lily." After eating, Lily lay down on the bed. "Lily, if Grandma Jones calls you tomorrow and she asks you to talk about the deal with Williams Media, don't agree with her right away. Just let her wait." Hearing Kevin say this, Lily frowned and turned her head towards him. With a puzzled expression, she said, "I don't think we need to worry about that. Grandma has already handed it back to Jason. Why would she ask me again? Why do you always say such strange things? In any case, remember, if she asks you, just don't agree right away. Promise me you'll sleep on it." The next day after Lily left for work, Kevin headed over to his office at Williams Media. This was the life. Kevin really liked being a CEO. Since Miss Wilson was such an organized chief of staff, all that Kevin had to do all day was drink lattes, read a little, and sign contracts. Miss Wilson knocked on the door and walked in. "Mr. President, the Jones family has sent someone over to discuss their arrangement with us. It's a woman named Matilda Jones." "Please ask her to leave." Grandma Jones really was an interesting character. He had clearly told her to send Lily, but instead she had sent Matilda to discuss their partnership. What was that all about? Like Jason, Matilda was also one of the favorites in the Jones family, and she definitely wasn't used to being told no. In any case, she wasn't prepared for the embarrassment of being asked to leave the Williams Media corporate offices without seeing the CEO. When Matilda returned to Grandma Jones, she told her what had happened. Her grandmother was really pissed off at the news, but she reluctantly agreed that it was time to call Lily. Lily and Dorothy were out shopping on Michigan Avenue while all of this was going on. Because her husband was coming back from an overseas trip in a couple of days, Dorothy wanted to find a nice outfit to wear to welcome him home. While they were looking, Lily heard her phone ringing inside her purse. She pulled it out and was surprised to see that Grandma Jones was calling. She and Dorothy looked at each other for a second before Lily answered. She put the call on speaker. Hello, Grandma?
Lily, Grandma wants to ask you a small favor.
A favor? What kind of thing could make this usually arrogant and self-reliant woman use the word favor? Dorothy couldn't keep from sticking her nose in. Auntie, don't be so polite. If there's anything Lily can do to help, just tell her. Lily gave her mother a dirty look but kept quiet and waited for Grandma Jones to speak.
It's about the partnership with Williams Media. I plan to let Lily handle it. She needs to go over there again tomorrow to meet with them in person. Try to get the packaging deal with their new client, Brittany Davis, as soon as possible.
Grandma Jones had it all planned out. However, what Kevin had said the night before popped into Lily's mind. Before Dorothy had a chance to speak, Lily quickly took the phone and turned around. Sorry, Grandma, since you already handed this over to Jason, I feel that it's not right for you to make a sudden change in the middle of negotiations. You really should let Jason take responsibility for the entire process. I still have a few things left to do today. Gotta go now. Bye, Grandma. Lily hung up the phone abruptly. Dorothy looked at her daughter in disbelief. What the heck are you doing? Do you know what she could do to us? Dorothy couldn't believe that Lily was willing to throw away such a golden opportunity. Lily ignored her mother and walked out of the store, found a bench and sat down. She thought for a while and wrote a text to Kevin. Kevin had just gotten a call from his friend Cook and was planning to have lunch with him. But before he put down his phone, he saw Lily's message. Grandma Jones just called. She said she wanted to let me take charge of Williams Media. I turned her down. What should I do next? Kevin grinned. At least Lily was listening to him now. Don't worry, she'll call you again soon, but you still shouldn't agree to anything until she offers you a good deal. After hitting send, Kevin headed out to lunch. He rode his scooter all the way to the Whistler Hotel. When Lily felt her phone vibrate, she quickly checked her messages. When she saw Kevin's text, she felt a lot more at ease. On the other side of town, Kevin arrived at the Whistler Hotel and was happy to see that Cook already had a table full of food waiting for him. Hi, Kevin. Have a seat. He nodded to one of his assistants, one of the men in dark suits who usually followed him around. The man walked over to them with a covered tray. Kevin smiled as Cook opened the silver lid and took out a small velvet box. He was acting very mysterious. After his assistant walked away, Cook quietly put the box in front of Kevin. I prepared this especially for you. It's a valuable item that I've kept for almost 4 years now. Mitch, you've already given me a wonderful gift. I just can't accept anything else. This thing is useless to me. I'm in great health. But you used to look pretty weak, so I tracked down this remedy just for you. And I'm glad I finally have a chance to give it to you. Before he was finished speaking, Cook's phone suddenly rang. He answered with an abrupt, yeah. As the call went on, his expression got more and more serious. After finishing the call, Cook gave Kevin an apologetic look. My friend, I'm afraid you'll have to finish this meal by yourself. I have some urgent business to take care of. Please accept this. Consider it an early birthday present. Kevin smiled and nodded. I got it, Mitch. Now hurry up and do what you've got to do. He paused and added, thank you for the gift. Okay, let's get together another day when I'm not so busy. Then Cook hurried out. Kevin looked at the little box on the table and shook his head. He picked it up and put it in his pocket. Sometimes I just can't figure that guy out, he thought. After Kevin finished lunch, he checked in with his office, but they didn't have any work lined up for him, so he headed home. When he got there, he pulled Cook's gift out of his pocket. As soon as Kevin opened the box, a light fragrance wafted through the air. As Kevin contemplated the smell, it seemed that his head was oddly clearer than before. In the middle of the velvet box was a pill the size of a small marble. Actually, it looked a little like a jelly bean, and the aroma definitely was coming from it. Kevin remembered Cook saying that he was looking a little gaunt, and he couldn't help muttering to himself, could this pill actually make me stronger? It sounds like science fiction to me. Maybe Mitch has been tricked by someone. Then Kevin recalled that Cook had said that the medication, whatever it was, had been prepared 3 or 4 years ago. He didn't know if it had expired, so he was hesitant about taking it. Kevin really didn't know what to do. He didn't want to disappoint his friend. But was that a good reason to take a 4-year-old pill? On the other hand, he did find the aroma somehow relaxing and enticing. Kevin finally decided to take the pill. He placed it in his mouth and reached for a glass of water to help him swallow it. Before Kevin could drink the water, the pill seemed to melt in his mouth, and then it flowed down his throat. Kevin furrowed his brow. He was a little worried and began to regret what he'd just done. Although Mitch was an old friend and he trusted him with his life, he was concerned that maybe there was something wrong with the pill. What would it do to him? Would it kill him? Was it FDA approved? Just as Kevin was contemplating spitting the pill out, he suddenly felt a sharp pain in his abdomen. Then his whole body felt like ice. Then his eyes rolled up in his head, and he fainted. When Kevin opened his eyes again, it was almost dusk. "What's that horrible smell?" he said to himself. The funk was almost enough to knock him out again. Kevin got up off the floor and discovered that the smell seemed to come from his own body. Great! He ran his hand along his forearm and felt something strange. His entire body was covered with some sticky yellow liquid. It had soaked through his clothes entirely. Gross! What the hell is this? Kevin sprinted to the bathroom to take a shower. He must have washed himself for more than half an hour. Then he changed his clothes again. He gave the house a quick cleaning and sprayed the air with an entire can of freshener. It seemed impossible to get the stink out of the room, especially the spot where he'd fainted. It was stained a pale yellow, and he wasn't sure he would ever be able to get it out. If Lily or her mother come home now, they'll think I've been frying dog crap, he thought. I can't believe someone told Mitch that this would help me. So far, it's given me an intense pain in my gut, knocked me out, and made me smell like an outhouse on a hot July day. Are there any more fun side effects? Kevin kept muttering to himself as he cleaned the room furiously. Just as he finished, Lily and Dorothy came home. "Hi, Kevin. What have you been cooking?" "I had something to do, so I haven't cooked yet. Why don't we eat out tonight?" Dorothy gave Kevin a funny look and said, "You're home all day and you don't have a job, but you don't have time to cook?" Lily found his excuse a little suspicious too. Even though she thought her mother was right, she wanted to give her husband the benefit of the doubt. "You know, I was thinking the same thing," Lily interrupted. "There's a new place on the north side. I think it's in Evanston. They say it has great stuffed spinach pizza. Let's head over there this evening." Then she gave Kevin a subtle tug on his sleeve and motioned for him to go to the bedroom with her. Kevin was curious to find out what Lily had to say. And did she have any more news about her grandmother? Kevin still hadn't gotten over his weird reaction to the pill that Cook gave him. And he really wasn't in the mood to make dinner right now. But he was pretty happy that Lily had stood up for him with Dorothy. He followed her back to their bedroom, wondering what news she might have about Grandma Jones. Lily spoke first. "You should have learned by now. Don't make random excuses. We need your help around the house, and that includes cooking meals." Kevin didn't offer any more explanations. He just nodded and replied, "Okay." Lily was satisfied that they'd settled the matter, so she brought up the latest news of her grandmother. "It's Grandma Jones's birthday the day after tomorrow, so you have 2 days to try and find something nice, and nothing cheap or tacky. Please don't embarrass me in front of my family again." When Lily told him this, Kevin remembered that he and Grandma Jones shared the same birthday. But usually everybody spent so much time fawning over Grandma that they forgot about him, so he wasn't much in the mood to celebrate. Kevin noticed that Lily was staring at him, which made him come back to the moment. He nodded in agreement. "Don't worry, I'll remember it, and I'll find her something nice." "Thanks," Lily replied. She really wanted to ask him for some advice about the partnership with Williams Media, but she also wanted to handle the problem with Grandma Jones herself, so she decided not to say anything. For now. Grandma Jones's birthday bash was held at Chez Robin, one of the finest restaurants in Chicago. They rented out the whole place just for the party. Lily sat next to her mother and saved a seat for her husband. The more she thought about it, the more restless she got. For the past 2 days, she'd asked Kevin over and over what he planned to get for her grandmother, but he insisted that he wanted to keep it a secret. This really worried Lily because her grandmother was hard to please, and she didn't want to disappoint her. When Kevin finally arrived, Lily saw that he was holding a simple gift bag like you find in a drugstore. This sure ticked her off. This was definitely not okay. Lily wasn't looking forward to spending another embarrassing evening with her family because of Kevin's behavior. She let out a heavy sigh. When Kevin sat down at the table, Dorothy frowned and stared at the gift bag he was holding. "You could have at least had it wrapped. I hope the gift you picked out is presentable." Kevin was a little uneasy at Dorothy's response. I didn't have time to wrap it, but the wrapping isn't important. It's what's in the bag that counts." Lily rolled her eyes. "I don't want to know. Later, when everyone is giving Grandma her presents, you can take advantage of the confusion and just stuff it into the pile so we're not embarrassed in front of my family. Again." Kevin was a little disappointed at her reaction. "All right," he said. "Whatever you say." Everyone had already started to give their gifts to Grandma Jones. They were all secretly competing with each other to see who would give the most valuable or rare gift to Grandma Jones. So far, the best presents were the beautiful diamond brooch that Matilda gave Grandma. "You've always brought me such great joy, Matilda. I'd love to keep you around here with me forever, but it's probably time for you to get married." Matilda didn't know how to respond. Married? She didn't even have a boyfriend. "Don't worry, Grandma. I'll always be by your side." Everyone who heard this was deeply moved. Matilda returned to her seat, which happened to be next to Kevin's. As she sat down, she heard Kevin say, "Nice choice. That brooch is from Wales, mid-18th century. Probably belonged to the royal family. Not bad." This piqued Matilda's curiosity. Most of the members of the Jones family thought Kevin was kind and dull and uninteresting. Even Matilda had always looked down on Kevin, but his comment was far from dull. "How did you know it was an 18th century royal brooch?" she asked him. "And yes, it is from Wales. Do you know a lot about jewelry?" Kevin shrugged and nodded. "Yes, I know a little. May I ask how much you spent?" "About $20,000, Matilda answered candidly. "I bought it from a friend of mine. At that price, she said she would just break even." Kevin shook his head. "I hate to tell you this, but that brooch isn't worth much more than $15,000. Matilda wasn't happy to hear that. "$15,000, are you sure? I got it from a good friend of mine." Kevin lowered his voice so nobody else at the table could hear him. "There are a few factors to take into account. First, you have the diamonds. They're a nice size, but the cut, color, and clarity are important too. I could see from here under these lights that they're not the absolute best. But the perfect diamonds cost a small fortune. Then there's the provenance. The most famous royal brooches are all well known and, once again, way over $20,000. Still, it's a very nice piece of jewelry. But I think your friend could have given you a lot better break on the price. It doesn't sound to me like she's your best friend. Just my opinion." Matilda had a puzzled look on her face as she listened to Kevin. Just then, someone walked up to Grandma Jones and announced, "Grandma, Bradley Smith is here." She smiled and said, "Bradley is here? What a lovely surprise. Please show him in." Kevin and the others turned around to look when they heard this. They all watched Bradley Smith walk. He was holding a small gift box in his hand. He'd spent his last penny on the clothes and the gift just to make a good impression on Grandma Jones. He knew that he had to succeed today or he'd be ruined. Bradley walked confidently up to Grandma Jones and gave her a kiss on each cheek. "Happy birthday, Grandma Jones. I wish you health, wealth, and happiness. I'm sorry that I'm a little late. The Dan Ryan Expressway was backed up with the construction traffic. Please forgive me." Grandma Jones knew that Bradley had always been interested in Lily. If only she had been able to match them up a few years ago. But instead she had married that failure Kevin. "Oh, I understand. I know you have a busy schedule. It's very considerate of you to come to my party." Bradley smiled and looked over toward Lily. "Actually, I'm not just here for your birthday. There's something else." He paused for a moment. Grandma Jones, I want to ask your blessing to marry Lily." She looked Bradley in the eyes and then shifted her gaze to Lily. Was she actually taking this request seriously? Lily was already married to Kevin, but this didn't seem to bother the Joneses. Nobody had ever really accepted Kevin into the family. They even treated their hired help with more respect, and that's saying a lot because they didn't treat them that well either. "Bradley, you do realize that Lily is married, doesn't that bother you?" she inquired, even though Grandma Jones knew what she wanted deep in her heart. "Grandma, I'd like to ask Lily to be my wife. You know I've always seen you as my very own, Grandma. Please say yes." The whole time he was saying this, Bradley was acting like Kevin wasn't even there. Finally, Kevin had had enough of this. He stood up from his chair and yelled, "Stop! What the hell is wrong with you? I've been sitting right here the whole time and you're asking if you can marry my wife right in front of me?" Kevin had lost it. Now it was Jason's turn to stick his nose in things. "Who do you think you are? You have no right to speak here. You're not a member of the family." "I may not be much, but I'm better than you jackass," Kevin spat back. "I'll kick your ass, loser," Jason said as he rushed towards Kevin. Jason had been spoiled by Grandma Jones since he was a child, so he never learned to control his temper. Everyone was upset to see this, but nobody made a move to stop Jason. They were all expecting to see Kevin get beaten up. But Kevin stood his ground very calmly. Lily called to him, "What are you just standing there for? Hurry up and leave." She was surprised at how worried she was for Kevin right then. Things hadn't been great between them lately, but maybe they'd been together for so long that she couldn't bear to see him get the crap knocked out of him. Jason threw the first punch, but Kevin stepped to the side to avoid it and caught his fist. "So, you're going to get violent, are you?" "Okay," Kevin said coldly. Then Kevin twisted Jason's wrist. Everyone there heard a sharp pop. "Why have you always been such a douche to me?" Kevin said as he let Jason drop to the floor. Jason felt like one of his ribs might be broken. "How dare you ruin Grandma's birthday?" Dorothy was furious. "After all that we've done for you, this is how you repay us? Get out, now!" "Oh, he's not getting off so easy. You're a dead man." Jason pulled out his phone, scrolled through his contacts, and made a call. But Kevin wasn't paying any attention to Jason. He was staring blankly at Dorothy. His penetrating stare made her uneasy. He finally spoke. "Lily and I have been married for 2 years. Things have been hard while I tried to get back on my feet, but I thought we still had a pretty good relationship." He began to smile before he continued. "Maybe it's my fault that everyone here looks down on you and Lily. Maybe I deserve that slap. I don't know. But from now on, we're even." Kevin clenched his fist tightly. "From now on, I'll have nothing to do with this family. I've had enough of this. If you want me to come back, you'll have to make Grandma Jones get down on one knee and beg me."
Hi, Kevin here. If you're wondering what happens next, then stay tuned on the Pocket FM Universe channel for more episodes.